You ever stand in front of something so absurd, so wrong, you just gotta laugh, even while your heart's beating like a war drum? That was me, staring up at a gate taller than I am, wrapped in enough chain to anchor a ship, right smack across the lane to my own damn lake cabin. 8 feet of shiny metal fencing stretched along the shoreline, like they'd caged off a piece of my life, and somehow everyone else thought that was normal. Neighbors were already lined up on the grass, filming on their phones, windbreakers zipped tight, like they were expecting fireworks. Right at the front stood Beverly, the HOA president herself, arms folded, pearls shining, lips so tight you'd think she was tasting lemons. I reached into my pocket, feeling the weight of that old brass key on a blue tag that read Cedar Lake, and the whole crowd went silent. I held the key up, let the sunlight catch it. "This key," I said, voice steady, "pops open more than you think. You know what I mean?" I took one slow step toward the lock, chain rattling. That's when somebody yelled, "Don't let him open it." And suddenly here comes this dude jogging down the hill, bolt cutters swinging over his shoulder like he's about to save the world. For a second, I froze. Let me back up a sec. Just 2 months earlier, the lake was nothing but peace. Saturday mornings I'd fix creaky porch steps or oil the old screen door, because that's what I do. I build things. My name's Marcus Reed. I'm a black man, a carpenter, a soft talker. Ask my sister, she'll tell you. My cabin sits at the edge of Cedar Lake, a blue bowl tucked in the woods, loons calling at dusk. My Uncle Ray built it way back, left it to me with a note. A place by the water heals what the city breaks. First time I stepped inside, it smelled like pine and dust, floorboards creaking hello. Roof needed patching, dock needed planks, lane was all potholes. But it was mine. I'd wave to Tom with his flip-up shades and thermos, or Mrs. Green with her big straw hat and cane. Fixed Mrs. Green's porch rail when she slipped, sanded down the edges, and she patted my hand. "You're a good one, Marcus." Made me feel like I'd finally found the kind of community Uncle Ray believed in. Things went sideways when a new sign popped up by the county road. Lakeside Meadows Homeowners Association. Amenities coming soon. Underneath, in tiny letters, non-members see office for access. My parcel wasn't even part of Lakeside Meadows. Uncle's deed was older than half the houses out here. I had a permanent right-of-way, lane to my porch, path to the water, spelled out clear as day on paper. But first letter from the HOA landed on my doorstep all the same. Fancy header, lots of musts. Trash cans here. Join the HOA. Pay up. Don't use the amenities, or else. Last line. Failure to comply may result in fines and restricted access. I marched that letter up the hill to the HOA office, Beverly greeting me like she was auditioning for a magazine ad. "We're standardizing the lake experience," she chirped. "You'll need a transponder for the amenity gate." "Don't need a gate," I told her. "My lane's on my deed." She cocked her head, smile never touching her eyes. "We're improving the lakefront, kayak racks, floating dock, security." I pointed at the perpetual access on my papers. She smiled at me like I was a kid showing her a crayon drawing. "We will review," she said, already done with me. After that, letters kept coming. Bright yellow violation notice, seen fishing without a wristband. Another about my porch light, warm white instead of cool white. Yeah, that happened. My grandma always said, "Don't let other people choose the weather inside you." So I stayed calm, fixed Tom's busted canoe, made Mrs. Green a birdhouse. At the board meeting, Beverly sat like a judge, board flanking her. I brought lemonade. Figured kindness opens more doors than anger. Only Tom poured a cup. Beverly's voice was syrupy. "The HOA is responsible for the shoreline, including fencing to protect investments." "Fencing?" I asked. "A low, tasteful barrier," she smiled. "We can issue you a day pass for a fee." I looked at Tom. He stared at his cup. "My deed gives me this lane. Always has. I'm not paying to use my own path." Beverly's smile ended the conversation. But storms build slow. I left for town to buy lumber. Came back to a fresh fence panel, gate locked tight, big red sign, private HOA amenity. No trespassing. My little wooden welcome sign tossed in the ditch. Chain rattled when I shook it. Fence went all the way down to the water, cutting off my path. I called the HOA, got put on hold. 6 minutes of tinny music before Beverly picked up. "We fenced in the amenity. Apply for a gate code as a member. This is my lane. My porch. Sir, please refrain from raised voices. My hands were steady. I'll handle it, I said. I went to see Mrs. Green. They put up a fence, I told her. I know, she said. Told them it was wrong. Tom told them, too. They said it's temporary, but temporary has a way of staying. I'm going to the recorder's office. Be firm, but don't let them turn you into what they already think you are. You're Marcus. You build things. Build the right thing. County clerk flipped through my deed. Right of way, perpetual, means forever. He showed me a map, pointed to a triangle of land, parcel B. Whoever owns B controls the lane location. Easements must be honored, but the ground is theirs. I got copies, parcel history, everything. Stopped by the developer's trailer with cinnamon rolls, asked about parcel B. The sliver? Headache. HOA keeps asking us to fix shoreline. Can't without easement permissions. Developer still owns it, wants to sell it. For the right price, they'd sell a snowball to a snowman. Left with a business card. Sometimes kindness means you pick up a tool no one noticed and use it with care. Back at the lake, Tom flagged me down. Ribbon cutting by your lane. Beverly invited the local paper. Hill was full of people, little speaker, Beverly with giant scissors. Lakeside Meadows believes in order, security, fairness, community, she announced. The word community echoed in my chest. Community isn't a fence, it's a hand on a rail, a neighbor's kid calling your name. When they finished clapping, I walked up, folder under my arm. I'd like you to stop. This fence blocks my lawful path. Members are speaking, Beverly said. You can apply for a guest pass. It's only $100 per visit. Tom muttered, daylight robbery. I pulled out my phone, called the developer's number. Interested in parcel B. If you're serious, we can move fast. Sent proof of funds. All my savings, inheritance, and a line of credit I'd never touched. Beverly tried to bluff, but when I showed her the draft agreement, purchase, quit claim, exclusive access, the color drained from her face. Open the gate. I told her, kindness still at the center. No code, no wristband, no authority, she spat. I took out the key, the one the developer handed me after a quick wire transfer. The brass was warm. I raised it high. Phones went up, eyes wide. That's when Beverly's husband came barreling down the slope, bolt cutters like a weapon. You put that key in that lock, I'll cut your hand off, he snarled. Security guard stepped between us. Sir, let's all calm down. I slid the key to the lock, then paused. A loon cried across the water. And before I could turn the key, red and blue lights flickered through the pines. Deputy's cruiser rolling up. The whole crowd turned, holding their breath. The deputy stepped out, hand near his belt. What's going on here? Beverly jumped in. Officer, this man is trespassing on HOA property. Refuses to comply. I kept my voice calm. Deputy, this is my family's cabin. This lane and shoreline are in my deed. I just purchased the parcel this fence sits on. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The deputy flipped through my papers. Tom broke the silence. Officer, Marcus is telling the truth. That cabin's always been separate. The HOA's bullying him. Mrs. Green raised her cane. That young man fixed my steps for nothing. Now they're locking him out of his own home. The deputy exhaled, heavy. Nobody's cutting anything today. Put those bolt cutters down. But peace never lasts long when pride and greed are involved. That afternoon, a cease and desist letter landed on my door, accusing me of trespassing, threatening eviction. From my own cabin. I showed Tom. He cursed. They want you to snap so they can paint you as the problem. I nodded. I won't give them that, but I won't bow either. For every petty cruelty, garbage in my lane, mailbox dented in the ditch, there was also quiet support. Mrs. Green's jam, Tom's spare lock, kids waving from the park. But the HOA doubled down. Special board meeting, whispers about hostile influences. I showed up with my deed. I own parcel B. That makes me a member, doesn't it? Beverly sputtered. Technicalities aside, you're disrupting harmony. We're voting on measures. But then Tom stood up, voice shaking. Marcus has done nothing but help us. You fence him out, then call him hostile? That's backwards. The air shifted. That's when the lights went out. Total darkness. Gasps, a kid crying, phones lighting up. Through the window, we saw 3 men by the fence, spraying a red X on the sign. One pointed at the clubhouse, then vanished into the trees. Chaos broke loose. And as the flashlight swept the trees, I recognized one of the men. Not a stranger, a neighbor. That's when it hit me. This battle wasn't just legal anymore. It was personal. The line between friend and foe had blurred. The next morning, a sheriff's cruiser rolled up. "Morning, Mr. Reed. Mind if we talk?" The deputy and I sat on the porch with coffee. He was careful, but direct. "We're investigating the vandalism. Did you recognize anyone?" I chose my words slow. "Movement, flashlights, but I can't swear I recognized anyone." He nodded, understanding. "We're trying to keep this from escalating." But by afternoon, a new sign appeared. "Private community, no trespassing, including non-member cabins." This time I marched down, pointed at it. "My cabin isn't your property." Beverly smiled cold. "Perception is reality, Mr. Reed. This sign makes the perception clear. Truth is stronger than perception. Not when we control the narrative," she replied. So we fought back. Tom, Mrs. Green, and a few others met on my porch. We planned to talk to neighbors, show the deed, tell the truth. Felt like a low tide, but hope bloomed. Didn't last. The next morning, bulldozer at the end of my lane. Men in vests marking lines, Beverly barking orders. "Cut it here, fill it in, make it impassable." I ran outside, yelling, "Stop! You can't destroy my access." According to HOA policy, we can regrade and reroute, pending membership approval. Bulldozer blade lowered. That's when something in me snapped, not with rage, but with resolve. I called the county. "I'm reporting willful destruction of property. Need an injunction immediately." The workers hesitated. Sirens wailed in the distance. The air was thick, everyone waiting. The deputy's cruiser screeched up. "Shut it down," he ordered. The engine died. Beverly's face was pure venom. "This isn't finished. You'll wish you never fought us." That night, my phone buzzed. "We know where you sleep. Leave, or next time we won't stop at fences." Forwarded it to the deputy. Then changed the locks, burned the porch light all night. Next day, a lawyer knocked on my door, Daniel Harper. "I specialize in property disputes. Cases like yours are why I became a lawyer." I laid it all out. Deeds, letters, threats. He nodded. "They've overstepped, not just morally, legally. I'll represent you." Hope flickered. But before I could even thank him, the new sign was set on fire. "Get out now" spray painted across the ashes. The sheriff called it intimidation. Beverly showed up, shouting for my removal. "You don't belong here," she spat. The deputy stepped in. "Ma'am, threatening a neighbor is a crime." Later, Daniel mapped our play. Restraining order, lawsuit for removal of the fence, damages for harassment. Live your life, Marcus. Don't let them win by stealing your peace. So I fixed my dock. Kids wandered by, asked to fish. "Of course," I said. "A dock's for everyone who respects it." But that night, a black SUV idled at the gate. "Nice cabin, Reed. Shame if something happened." I logged it, called the deputy, double-checked the locks, slept with the key under my pillow. Then a brick came through my window, note attached. Last warning. Leave, or next time we come inside. I installed cameras, lights, promised myself, I will not run. Next morning, Daniel filed the injunction. HOA legally barred from touching my property until the hearing. But Beverly wasn't done. She rallied her board, local news in tow, painted me as a danger to the community. I stepped forward, voice clear. "I'm not the cause. I'm the target." Tom backed me, Mrs. Green too. Doubt spread. That night, security cameras caught hooded men, gas can in hand. I hit the floodlights. Sheriffs on the way. They scattered. Deputies found the gas can, smelled of fuel. This wasn't just HOA politics. This was criminal. Deputy Carson returned. 3 men. 2 hired. Third's your neighbor. HOA board member Richard Malone. Richard, the one who shook my hand at meetings, tried to burn me out. Daniel said, "This proves malice, but it's dangerous. They'll circle the wagons." That evening, Beverly showed up with barricades, trucks ready to seal me in. "Today we protect our community," she declared. "No more trespassing." I stepped forward. "What you're doing is illegal. That's my lane, my right of way, my home. Who's going to stop us?" "You," she sneered. The neighbors watched, waiting. So I held up the key. "This isn't just for a lock, it's for Parcel B. I own it. The only gate in belongs to me." The crowd gasped. Beverly sputtered. I unlocked the gate. Chain fell. Gate swung open. Some cheered, some whispered. Then Richard came barreling down the lane in his truck, right at me. Deputy shouted, "Get back." I dove aside. Richard crashed through the gate, jumped out, metal pipe in hand, screaming. Deputies took him down, cuffed him. Mrs. Green's voice cut the air. This lake belongs to anyone willing to love it. And Marcus has loved it more than any of you. The crowd murmured, respect rising. In court, Daniel at my side. The judge ordered the fence removed, my right-of-way secured, HOA fined for harassment. Fence came down, neighbors helped, kids fished off my dock. Community healed, one nail, one handshake at a time. And as the sun set over Cedar Lake, I realized the fight was never just about land or gates. It was about belonging, about kindness and resolve outlasting hate and greed. The key in my pocket wasn't just for a gate. It was for the future, for all of us. So, where are you watching from? And what would you have done? Let's hear it.